This is 6 Minutes, the seriously international daily newscast. It's Thursday, April 10th. I'm Anne-Sophie Goninet.
And I'm Jacob Shropshire. It's dinner time in Singapore, while in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, folks are just getting up for breakfast. Here in the World Crunch newsroom in Paris, colleagues are headed out for lunch since it's just past midday. These are the latest headlines. Defense ministers meet at NATO headquarters for Ukraine talks. An Israeli airstrike in Gaza kills 29, while France says it plans to recognize a Palestinian state. In our More Than a Minute feature today, a Polish journalist writes about his experience going through border control in the U.S., and our daily quiz question comes from a basketball icon. Our top story today is that global markets have rebounded after U.S. President Donald Trump reversed course by announcing a 90-day pause on imposing country-specific tariffs to most nations in the world. The White House is opting instead for a universal 10% tariff on all trade partners except one, China. The tariff rate on the world's leading manufacturing country will jump to 125% effective immediately, administration officials say, in response to its imposing 84% reciprocal tariffs on U.S. goods. At NATO headquarters in Brussels today, defense ministers from around 30 countries, a bloc dubbed the Coalition of the Willing, are meeting to create a plan for a potential peacekeeping force in Ukraine, which would be deployed if a ceasefire with Russia is met. The meeting will be the first one on the defense minister level, and the U.S. will not be present. In Gaza, at least 29 people, including children, were killed in an Israeli strike on a residential building, with the Israeli military saying that it was targeting a senior Hamas official. Since the start of the war in October 2023, more than 50,000 people have been killed and more than 100,000 people have been injured in Gaza. In a diplomatic move to try to end the war, French President Emmanuel Macron said during a visit to Egypt that France plans to recognize a Palestinian state in June, which the Palestinian Authority called, quote, a step in the right direction. In the Dominican Republic, officials say the death toll from the tragic roof collapse at a nightclub has risen to 184, with rescue efforts turning to recovery. The country's emergency operations director also said that the figure was preliminary and promised that recovery teams would be there, quote, until we have recovered everyone, dead or alive. With the new stricter immigration and security policies at the U.S. border, our More Than a Minute feature today looks at the impact on international travelers.
After Donald Trump returned to the White House, he quickly began implementing stricter border controls, including increased checks on airline travelers from abroad. Lawyers around the world have been advising travelers how to handle the new rules, especially after several high-profile cases of people being sent home or even detained.
One Polish journalist set out to look closer at the situation, sharing his own experience arriving from Warsaw at New York's JFK airport. And Sophie, what prompted Maciej Czarnecki to write this piece for Polish daily Gazeta Wyborcza?
Well, he, like many of us, had read about what happened to people like Jacob Shropshire, a tattoo artist from Germany who was detained for weeks and then sent home because authorities suspected that she was trying to work illegally in the US. Similar stories have been widely publicized about others, including a French scientist, a British tourist, and a Lebanese doctor who had been studying and working in the US for several years. So when Czarnecki arrived at JFK, he was paying particular attention to whether the checks were different than on his previous trips to the US.
And what happened when he landed?
Czarnecki writes about the line who is directed towards for foreign arrivals. There are dozens of people standing in front of me. I watch as they approach the windows one by one. Many get their passports stamped after a minute or two. A few wait longer in front of the official, like one unfortunate Ukrainian. But no one is turned away. When it's my turn, the official only asks me how long I'll be spending in the States and whether I intend to work. I'm entering on a journalist visa. I'll be sending a correspondence, I explained. The man doesn't bother. He just stamps my passport. Welcome to the USA, sir. Czarnecki says he didn't notice anything particularly different than previous trips, but conceded that his experience was anecdotal and advised that it's worth taking precautions to avoid becoming, as he put it, the unlucky hero of media reports. Among the precautions that lawyers recommend, be sure you can answer the simple question about what you plan to do and see in the US, take down the Looking for Work banner on LinkedIn profiles, and delete any content from your phone or laptop that you consider private and do not want anyone to view.
We're closing things out today with our daily quiz question, which comes from a basketball star. LeBron James made history with his announcement of an iconic retail partnership. What new product is going to be made in James's image? Is it A, cookie cutters, B, a Ken doll, C, special edition baseball bats, or D, Easter Bunny chocolates? The correct answer is B. Los Angeles Lakers basketball player LeBron James will be partnering with Mattel to release a new Barbie in his likeness, making him the first male professional athlete to have his own Ken doll. The figure will feature James in his pre-game look and, to reflect his build, will also be an inch taller than the standard Ken doll.
That's the latest from around the world. If you like this podcast, we'd really appreciate it if you could help us out with a follow, share, and 5-star rating on your preferred podcasting platform. For more of the best of the international press delivered exclusively in English, visit us at worldcrunch.com. We'll see you here tomorrow. À demain!